Simon Says Stamp, and today we're going to create this Rainbow of Circles pop art themed card with the July 2026 card kit called Pop Art. I'm going to take some of the pop art pieces, the circles, the dies included in the kit, as well as some of the textured cardstock, and we're going to cut a bunch of the circles, and I want to make sure that I keep all of the circle pieces because we are going to be using every single one of them to create this all over circle background. I went ahead and die cut everything first, and then I'm going to show you a little hack for how to stamp on these with the awesome Pop Art 6x8 stamp set and create some even more texture. Now, while this background looks very simple and is very simple to assemble, I love all the little details that really make a card come together, and that's going to include stamping, some tone-on-tone stamping on these circles. Now, once I have all of my circles die cut, I am going to make sure I keep one of these little pieces of the textured cardstock because we're going to use that as a way to easily stamp on our circles. I'm also going to trim down some of the heavyweight white cardstock included in the kit to 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, and that's going to be the base for my card. Now, before I ever start stamping anything or gluing anything in place, I want to do kind of a mock layout of all of these pop art pieces, and I want them to be in rainbow order. There's about a couple of shades almost per each color, minus the yellow, which I had forgotten to die cut at this point. So again, it's a really good idea to kind of double check before you get there. And I'm working on a glass mat with a grid, so I have an idea of where my circles need to go. Then this allows me to kind of mix and match all of the inner parts of the circles, and this is where it's really fun. It's almost like a little puzzle game, piecing all of those little circles in place, and I kind of found a little rhythm and order to this as I was working. The other great thing about this is it's going to allow me to know where I want to stamp. I'm not going to stamp on every single one of these rings. I'm only going to stamp on some of them. And so once I have everything in place, and you can really start to see the background come together now, it looks amazing. And you wouldn't have to use all of the pieces if you didn't want to, but I loved how it looked, so I went ahead and used them all. So I'm going to go ahead and go back and grab one of my sheets of cardstock. In this case, it ends up being the pink on pink, and we're going to replace all of the circles. Now, at first, I didn't think I would stamp that inner circle piece, but you're going to see me stamp that going forward. I can get about 2 to 3 images stamped with one press of the Misty. So I'm going to leave my stamps in place on the Misty as I'm stamping. And I'm using a little apple ink here to stamp this. Now, I did use the textured side of the cardstock. That can be a little trickier to stamp on, so I did stamp it 2 to 3 times depending on how juicy my ink pad was. Then I'm going to carefully remove the circles. Now, as I was looking at this, I realized, I think I do want to stamp that second ring. So I just took another one of my little sheets of cardstock there, and I'm actually going to have 2 stations set up for stamping. So here I am stamping another one of the images, a little surf blue on the blue cardstock. On the yellow cardstock, which I did stamp off camera, that is honey ink on there. And then I'm simply moving a couple of the circles down to that bottom station, and I'm doing another stamping. You'll also notice that I did go ahead and add the heart to my stamping here, and that is, I'm just going to continue to do this until I have everything stamped. Now, I went through and did about 1 color per row. That's how I started out. This is a little orchid ink here on the light purple cardstock. And then I didn't want it to be super matchy-matchy. I like mine to be a little off, if you will, I decided to go back and I took out the solid heart image and I added the little tiny image of the trio of hearts. And we are going to go ahead and add another stamping, about one per row. That's going to mean that it's going to be a little bit more, you know, not matchy-matchy, but more mix and matchy. And we're going to have some different colors of rings next to each other with some stamping. And then I did want to leave some without any stamping at all. I love this. Another idea, I did use the circles, but you could just as easily use the square that comes in the kit and do something exactly like this, only with the squares, and maybe not even have any background show through. You can see here that there is background showing, there will be background showing through, but with a square, you could butt them up right next to each other and have a all over square background. So something to keep in mind. Now, as I'm looking at this and realizing I'm going to have a solid background, I decided I want that background to have a little bit of texture. So I took my favorite good reading, texty, grungy background from Simon Says Stamp, inked it up with some flannel ink, and I am going to press my cardstock panel into this, and it's going to be this super light gray inking texture background on the white cardstock, and it's going to look amazing showing through all of our rings. Then I'm going to slowly and surely start building my background. I did start in the middle of the panel, and I used a combination of the grid mat that I'm working on as well as the Simon Says Stamp T-square ruler to get my circles lined up. I highly recommend using some sort of a ruler or some sort of a grid to help you with this step. It worked perfectly, and it was slightly time consuming just gluing everything down and getting it lined up. But once you have those base circles, the outer rings in place, the rest of it goes together easy peasy. And it's worth the little bit of extra effort to build the background. Now, obviously at this step, it doesn't look that interesting at all, but once you start building in all of the inner pieces to each of the circles, I think it really starts to shine. I absolutely am one of those people who loves a good background, and this is one of those cards that really provides all of those things that I love. It's got the grungy text in the background, and then we're building the design with these wonderful circles. After I get these last few circles here in place, then I'm going to start building in all of the circles inside as I have them laid out. So that was one of the other reasons it was really helpful to lay everything out, because then I'm not having to remember what goes where. I've already figured out my placement, and we're simply just going to glue everything in place. I am using some heavy magnets. Heavy acrylic blocks would also work here, or anything else that you have that is kind of heavy to help hold down those shapes, hold them where they go so that they don't move and shift, and you don't have to remember how you had them laid out. It's starting to come together now as you fill in all of these areas, and then you just get the peak of that grungy text in the background. This is what I was looking for, and I think it turned out amazing. Another idea is, if you don't want to do more of the rainbow look like I did here, you could also die cut a bunch of circles in different shades in the same color family and do backgrounds that way. Think Halloween cards, Christmas cards, any kind of season or holiday. Valentine's would be really cute, especially like the hearts and things I used here. You could do a very cool tone on tone background, and I think that would be just as cool. Okay, so we're gonna put in these last few, and then you did notice I cut off anything hanging off the edge a little bit ago, but I have quite a bit more now, and when the glue is dry, I'm gonna flip my panel over and I'm gonna trim away any of those excess circles, leaving me with my 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch background. I love the long Tim Holtz shears for this. I think they work really nice. That long blade goes right along the edge of the cardstock panel, snipping away any of that excess. If you wanted to, and if you had anything big enough, some of these pieces might even be big enough to place on another card background, although I didn't do that here. And here is what we're left with. It is almost a clean slate palette to work with. We could do all kinds of big greetings or anything else that you want on the background. Now, I wanted to keep a lot of my background showing, so I'm going to keep the embellishment and sentiment on the front pretty minimal. Before I add that, I do want to add a little black splatter to add to that distressy look that we have with the good reading background. And I think the Simon Says stamp black splatter is always a good idea. It's one of my very favorites. I'm going to set that aside to dry, and we're going to stamp and emboss a greeting from the Pop Art stamp set. I chose the greeting, "You're the best friend, literally." That was the one that really jumped out at me. And I decided for this, I am going to die cut my greeting with a Sentiment Label 2.0 die and do a little fish tail end banner using one of those little dies in this set, so that I can make my own little banner with this greeting. I stamped this on the black cardstock included in the kit using clear embossing ink and heat embossing with white embossing powder. And then I, of course, used the powder tool to help keep the embossing powder just on the area I stamped and not migrate anywhere else. Don't forget that once your embossed sentiment or image, whatever you're doing, has cooled, to buff away that excess powder with like a dry cloth or even your finger. On another piece of white cardstock from the kit, I am going to stamp two of the hearts from the Pop Art stamp set. This one I stamped with apple ink, and the smaller heart I'm going to stamp with surf ink. Here's that banner that I was talking about. I'm going to pick one of the banners that is wide enough for the greeting and go ahead and die cut that. And then I'm going to take the extra little piece to make the fishtail. And I love that fun added little touch for this. I'm going to try to get it as even as possible and then just run that through my die cut machine. Then I am going to go ahead and either die cut or trim out my hearts. I just cut mine with some scissors, and we're going to glue our panel to a white card base. So I'm going to start with that, and then we're going to grab some foam adhesive, and we're going to pop up our sentiment first, and then we're going to surround it with these two little hearts, and they tie into the hearts that we stamped in the background. And everything is small enough that, yes, while we cover up a little bit of our background, we are not completely losing the detail of these stamped phrases. So I'm trying to figure out the best placement, and that's a little too high up. I'm going to shift it down more in the bottom half of the card, almost, but not quite, in between those last two rows of Pop Art circles. And once we have that in place, we're going to put a combination of foam adhesive and liquid glue on the back of the heart where it slightly overlaps the sentiment that is popped up, and another small foam adhesive square back behind our smaller heart. And we're going to just group that all together. I tried a couple different places and I like that the best. Finally, we're going to finish our card with a scattering of the clear Pawsitively Dazzling gems. These are included in the kit. You get one of two different choices in the card kit, or if you have these in your stash. I have them in all of the colors and absolutely love them, use them all the time. And we're just gonna do a little scattering, a couple on the heart, and then a few more scattered throughout the card to finish it off. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for this Pop Art Rainbow Circles card showcasing the June 2026 Simon Says Stamp Card Kit. The supplies I used are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube for your convenience. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Hi, I'm Heidi, founder of SimonsSaysStamp.com. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you just saw, be sure to press the thumbs up and subscribe to see more great content.